World Wrestling Entertainment (WWE) has always been built around characters, stories, and personas that capture the imagination of fans across the globe. Sometimes, the lines between the real person and the on-screen character blur, creating confusion and fascination in equal measure. Recently, WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray offered his perspective on a subject that has sparked many debates in wrestling circles: the dichotomy between Natalya Neidhart and her in-ring persona, often referred to as Nattie. This unique analysis sheds light on the struggles and strengths of one of WWE's most respected female performers. To fully understand Bully Ray's comments, it's important to break down Natalya's career, her contributions to women's wrestling, and the challenges she faces balancing her real self with the expectations of the WWE universe. Natalya Neidhart, a wrestling legacy. Natalie Catherine Neidhart, better known as Natalya, is the daughter of the late WWE legend Jim "The Anvil" Neidhart and a proud member of the legendary Hart family. Wrestling is in her blood, and her heritage has been a major part of her identity since she first stepped into the WWE ring. Trained in the famous Hart Dungeon, she represents a direct continuation of her family's legacy. For years, Natalya has been described as the backbone of the women's division. She may not always be in the main event spotlight, but her technical ability, professionalism, and leadership behind the scenes have made her an invaluable asset to WWE. She has mentored countless female superstars and continues to be a bridge between the old era of women's wrestling and the current one. The Nattie persona. While Natalya Neidhart is a real person with a storied family history, the WWE universe often sees her as Nattie, her on-screen persona. Over the years, this persona has shifted between a loyal babyface, a conniving heel, and even a comedic figure at times. Bully Ray's main observation lies in the disconnect between the two identities. Natalya's real-life character is deeply rooted in tradition, family honor, and technical excellence. On the other hand, the WWE character, Nattie, has sometimes been portrayed in ways that don't fully align with her true strengths. This duality has created what Bully Ray refers to as the Natalya versus Nattie Dichotomy, a constant struggle between presenting her authentic wrestling pedigree and the scripted role she plays for television. Bully Ray's perspective. Bully Ray, a decorated tag team wrestler and a respected voice in wrestling analysis, has never shied away from speaking his mind. In discussing Natalya, he acknowledged her immense talent but highlighted that WWE has not always given her the proper spotlight. According to Bully Ray, Natalya's Nattie persona sometimes limits her true potential. Instead of being presented as the seasoned ring general and veteran leader she is, WWE often uses her in transitional storylines or as enhancement talent to put newer stars over. In his words, the WWE universe deserves to see more of the real Natalya, a fighter who carries the Hart family torch, who knows the technical craft of wrestling like few others, and who can elevate women's wrestling beyond surface-level gimmicks. The dichotomy explained. The dichotomy essentially revolves around 2 points. 1. Natalya as a person, a genuine, passionate wrestler with a legendary family background, strong work ethic, and unmatched technical skills. 2. Nattie as a character, the on-screen persona that sometimes feels watered down, scripted, or misaligned with her actual legacy. Bully Ray argues that while fans respect Natalya, they don't always connect with Nattie because the character has not been given consistent or meaningful storylines. In many ways, Natalya's biggest strength, her authenticity, has not been fully utilized on television. Natalya's role in WWE today. Currently, Natalya finds herself in a unique position. She may not always be in championship storylines, but she continues to serve as a veteran presence for the women's division. Much like how superstars such as Dolph Ziggler or The Miz have often been used, Natalya works as a measuring stick for younger talent. Whether it's Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, or newer names like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, Natalya has stepped into the ring with almost every top female competitor in WWE. This consistency shows WWE's trust in her, even if the company doesn't always showcase her in marquee matches. Fans' perception of the dichotomy. Fans have mixed reactions when it comes to Natalya's career. On one hand, many appreciate her loyalty, dedication, and technical skills. She's known as a safe worker and someone who can carry any opponent to a solid match. On the other hand, some fans criticize WWE's portrayal of her, claiming she hasn't been allowed to show her full personality. This fan perception directly ties back to Bully Ray's comments. The audience respects Natalya, but Nattie, the character, doesn't always capture their imagination. This gap is where the dichotomy becomes most visible. The Hart family legacy. It's impossible to discuss Natalya without mentioning the Hart family. From Bret, the Hitman, Hart to Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, Davey Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman, the Hart Foundation remains one of the most respected names in wrestling history. Natalya has had the heavy burden of carrying that name forward in a modern WWE environment where character-driven storytelling often overshadows pure wrestling ability. Bully Ray believes WWE could do more to tap into that legacy, reminding fans that Natalya isn't just another superstar, but a living connection to wrestling history. Could Natalya still have a career renaissance? Many wrestling veterans, including Bully Ray, believe it's never too late for a career resurgence. With WWE's focus on women's wrestling stronger than ever, Natalya could be reintroduced in a way that emphasizes her authenticity rather than a scripted persona. A heel run that leans into her Hart family arrogance, or a babyface role that celebrates her real struggles and triumphs, could reignite her career. Bully Ray insists that if WWE allowed the world to see more of the real Natalya, fans would connect with her on a deeper level. Women's wrestling evolution and Natalya's role. WWE's women's division has gone through a massive transformation, from the Divas era to today's era of serious athletes and main event stars. Natalya has been one of the few constants throughout this journey. She was present when women's matches lasted just a few minutes, and she's still here now as women headline pay-per-views and main events on Raw, SmackDown, and WrestleMania. Bully Ray emphasizes that Natalya deserves more recognition for being a steady force during this evolution.